What's up guys, it's Lorenzo from Quality Mobile Video. Today we go into part 3 of our Toyota Corolla series. We'll be removing the factory radio and installing a Dasaita 10.2 inch and also removing the Pioneer DSP because the Dasaita has one built in. In part 2, we disconnected all the speakers from the factory unit, connected 2 amplifiers in the back, and installed the Pioneer DEQ S1000A utilizing speaker level outputs. We'll replace the factory radio and rewire our T-harness as we no longer need speaker level outputs, and we'll be using RCA preamp outputs from the Dasaita to our amplifiers. They also took a lot of our suggestions and made changes to the stereo, including increasing the voltage on the preamp outputs to over 2 volts, improving the frequency response, and creating a more in-depth user manual. The first step is we'll need to eliminate the original EQ and run our RCAs up to the radio. We'll need to adjust all of the USB cables that we ran last time to work with the new radio. What sucks is, damn, the RCAs are gonna be short. This is our T-harness. How did I do this? And now we'll disconnect our T-harness. What we have to do here is we have to modify our T-harness. In the previous video, we made the T-harness provide power to the Pioneer DSP and then bring the audio signals from the amplifiers to the front to connect to the factory wires. What we'll need to do here is just cut out the Pioneer harness and just make it a straight T-harness without the DSP. So these were our speaker level outputs from the Pioneer DSP. We're gonna leave this T-harness together, but we're gonna cut out the power, ground. These wires came from the factory radio and provided the speaker level outputs, just the fronts, to the Pioneer DSP. And that's where the DSP got its signal to break it into 6 channels. Since we have 6 channel RCAs, we'll connect those directly to the amplifiers. And the last wire we have to cut is the remote turn on. And now we're just moving up our USB and 3.5mm auxiliary input that we used to the original processor that'll now go to our aftermarket radio. Unfortunately, when we installed this, we only used RCAs that were just long enough. Right now we're a little bit limited on time because of the time of day. So unfortunately for now, what we will have to do is use barrel connectors. We'll have to insulate them to prevent any noise. Ultimately, we'll want to take out the RCAs and use proper sized cables. So Dasaita includes the factory USB retention, which we'll use here. That'll be for a thumb drive or a hard drive. And then we'll use our aftermarket connection for our wired Apple CarPlay. We need to remove the pillar to run the aftermarket microphone and GPS sensor. really hard to tape with gloves on. And now we pull our microphone wire and our GPS sensor wire. Let's do a quick test fit and see what we need to cut. I'll do it in such a way where it clips in. And as Dasaita indicated, we do have to trim the factory carrier just a bit. You'll see that these tabs would not fit. We're gonna tape it off and then we're gonna cut it out so that they actually try to clip in. There she fits. Last thing we need to do is RCAs. Now let's maintain our same patterns over here. Our doubles are rears. Singles are front. we're going to take one of the pins that we removed and we're going to put it underneath this red wire here. That'll be our remote turn on, and we'll connect it right there. So this plugs into the back of the radio, and at this terminal on the back of the radio is our remote turn on wire. Of course, yeah baby, that sucks. So we will just extend it. These two we don't care about right now. We don't care about that either. What we want to do is connect that to there. There's nothing. But this comes from the amplifier. Those stay the same. That stays the same. This will go here. This will go there. That is disconnected with the exception of the orange wire. We don't even need to connect that one. All right. That's really all we care about now. So we're just going to temporarily connect these up to test the factory steering wheel controls and the factory backup camera. Oh, that's cool.
Oh shit.
So that's good. So now, let's try that. Despite this unit actually supporting wireless Apple CarPlay, we'll connect our aftermarket USB to the radio. Your 3.5 millimeter will be your aux in, so that will be retained as well. That one we don't need, so we'll be taping this one off because we're not going to use it. Alright, that's good. And since we still have one other USB to connect, these are both auxiliary USBs. We'll just neatly tie them off and connect it to the remaining USB port that we have. That gives us everything with the exception of the microphone. Quite understand now how this all goes together, but okay, so we had to do a little bit of a song and dance to get this trim around the radio, but it does fit with the exception of, and again, Dasaita alluded to this, there's this tongue underneath the clock here that goes into the factory, and what ends up happening is if you don't grind it down, this actually distorts, and you'll see that it doesn't line up here. So we'll need to notch the radio in order to fit the trim. see, here's where we notched it. Where will she go? That's the question. Oh, and then that popped out. You son of a... All right, she's in. Let us know down below if you would take a chance on a Dasaita 10.2 inch for your vehicle. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and thanks for watching.